Shanley, runs through Sharper, runs through Adele, runs through Jabari Greer. Get off me, he says to Tracy Porter. Look all the way down the field, Hasselback, all the offensive linemen. Are you kidding me?
Welcome to the HMD podcast, the number one podcast in the world. If you're trying to hold your dick at the end of the fantasy football league, then you listen to this podcast right here. We got Mike Bruckner, a.k.a. Larry Hoover.
Dusky Soldier, 1-0, baby.
And then you got Ryan Bailey, a.k.a. Yoka Mish. This week, just going to start it off real quick. Me and Michael Bruckner are going up against each other in the HMD league, so fuck you.
In a division battle, baby.
I know, a division battle. It's a it sucks, man. I don't want to go up against division so early in this, in the season, but we got to do it. And I'm 0-1 already in our division. It sucks, man. But let's start off. Let's see if your shitty ass backup players can do anything. Cheers, brother. All right, let's start off with our stud of the week. I want to hear about your stud of the week, boy. Let's hear it.
He's back, baby. He's back. Saquon Barkley is back. The Giants are back. Brian Daboll knows how to use the man. He's all healed up. And he's ready to go. I think he had about 18 carries for 164 yards. That's about 8 yards a carry there on 18 carries. And he also had 6 catches for 30 yards. He's just a fucking stud. And they're going to ride him all year, and I think it's going to continue. I think that if we were drafting today, I'm taking Saquon like top 6 overall.
I agree. I think, dude, if he's healthy, he's best back in the league, right? Like, he's up there with Jonathan Taylor's. Like, that's just who he is. My stud of the week, Justin Jefferson. Stud, boy.
My boy,
dude,
Doc.
Killing it out there. Just making people look sorry, like starting off really fresh. And I know almost all the number one wide receivers, killed it this week, except for CeeDee Lamb, who just kind of sucked. But he murdered it. I thought the scheme was great. He was up against linebackers. Defensive linemen were trying to guard him. What were they doing over there in Green Bay? But the scheme worked out. Jefferson killed it. He dominated. It was awesome to see. Stud of the week, Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley. Boom.
Dogs.
Let's talk about our bust of the week. I'm going to start off with the bust of the week here. I'm going to go Cam Akers. That guy bust. Super bust. It's a bummer for everyone who drafted him. I feel bad. I feel so bad. You got nothing. He didn't even play snaps. He had that one snap where he did not pass protect at all, and then that was it. Didn't get to do anything. Darrell Henderson is the guy. Start him up in your leagues. Bust of the week, Cam Akers. Who you got, Mike?
Who drafted Cam Akers?
Probably Conrad or something like that. That guy always sucks.
Dude, you are right. He did go to the red. We're sorry, yeah. Conrad. We're sorry. That's on brand pick. My bust of the week, I'm sorry, John and Derek, but it's the entire Cowboys offense. The entire offense is a bunch of busts. Dak Prescott, he gone. The future is looking pretty bleak there for CD. The only thing that was decent for the Cowboys, they ran a little bit. They were able to run, but they only ran it like 10 times the entire game. I don't know about Kellen Moore. I don't know about him. But I'd be staying away from all my Cowboys. Giddy up.
Cowboys sucked this week. I honestly don't know what's going to happen with that squad. I think, Jerry Jones needs to figure it out, but he just done such a bad job on hiring coaches recently. And
you think if the Cowboys got a top 5 pick this year, they would take quarterback?
I mean, there's a lot of good quarterbacks this year for sure. I think they'll just take whoever they think is best on their draft board, but they'd probably take another offensive tackle, probably to help out with that whole running game and protection and everything. All right, let's move on. So we got Thursday night game. Dirty love Thursday night games. We got the Chargers versus Kansas City. It's a dirty matchup. So much fun. I love it. This should be tune in. Everyone should be watching this tonight. Get your drinks. Turn in. But let's start off
TV,
here.
baby.
Must watch TV.
On Amazon Prime, who I just saw. I just looked at my TV. We got Richard Sherman on the telecast right now. Shout out to my dog.
The great Richard Sherman. The great. Dirty game. I'm super excited for this. All right, let's start off. So the Chargers running back, right? Eckler, he didn't look amazing that first week. So would you start him this week? Do you start him? Like, I know he's a must start in most teams, but some of you might think that Thursday nights are not great for running backs. Do you start Eckler right away?
The Thursday night rule, Bailey. I'm not a huge believer in the Thursday night rule, especially when he's my first round pick. Anyone who has Eckler took him in the first round. You're probably in a position where you got to start him, and if you have options to not, then consider yourself very fortunate. But yeah, I think that they're probably going to ease Eckler in a little bit. They might have been saving him a little bit for this Thursday night game. I thought about because they were kind of in control against Vegas. And I think they kind of rested him in the second half a little bit, knowing that they had to play Thursday against Kansas City. Might make some sense.
Makes a lot of sense. That's a good point there, Mike. All right, well, then let's move on to Palmer Williams.
Oh, boy. He's afraid. Commissioner shaking in his boots. He playing against Mike Williams tonight. Let's go.
With Keenan Allen out, I mean, do you start? I mean, I think you obviously start Williams, right? Immediately. You should start him. I'm big on Thursday night wide receivers and quarterbacks. Start them up. They're going to score touchdowns all day. But do you start Palmer? I mean, do you take the risk? Throw him in your flex. They were high on him during the offseason.
Dude, he's a great kind of what the heck flex. Throw him in if you got him. Smoke him if you got him, they say, Then if you got Palmer, throw him in, baby. He really could. We could see him go for 100 yards tonight. You never know. He's probably going to get over 5 targets. And yeah, there's another guy I like, and I'll save it for the end of the show here. But there's another guy I like who we'll mention later.
Are you talking about the guy, boy on the Chargers?
Boy on the Chargers. He's property of Mr. Crawford right now. I saw a nice pickup, Brandon. We'll talk about him later.
Ah, damn it, dirty. I think I know who you're talking about, though, but he's 5'8", so let's move on.
This dude is not 5'8".
Who do you start for the Chiefs wide receivers? I mean, they're going to be playing tough on defense for the Chargers, man, and I don't know if you want to start any of these Chiefs wide receivers, and if you did, who do you want to start?
I feel like starting Chiefs receivers this year is going to be like rolling dice because there's 6 of them, and 1 or 2 of them are going to hit each game. You never know which ones. I think maybe just because of where you drafted, maybe Juju Smith. But honestly, he didn't look like any different than any other. There's no difference between Juju and Hardman and I don't even know who else they have. MVS.
Yeah.
They're stacked. There's receivers everywhere there. And Mahomes just looks to who's open. I think the only Chiefs guy that I'm starting other than Mahomes, maybe Clyde, but I'm for sure starting Kelsey too. But it's just the Mahomes show, baby.
It's the Mahomes show. It doesn't matter who's out there. They're just going to dominate. I mean, if you got him, I'd start Juju. I would, just because I like Thursday night wide receivers. That's what I'm going to say every time we do this podcast. Thursday night wide receivers.
So Josh
I say
Palmer.
You got him. Oh, Josh Palmer. I would start him for sure. I think he's a stud. I don't have any Thursday night wide receivers going up tonight, but if I did, I would always start them. I love them. Doesn't matter where they are. Throw them in your flex. Get them going. Chiefs running backs. I mean, this fool over here talking about Clyde. Clyde's a joke. I've always hated Clyde, but he turned out week 1, baby. Woo!
He sure did. And he's involved. The second half of that Chiefs game was a joke because it was a blowout, but in the first half, he was very involved.
Very involved. It was dirty. I mean, Pacheco, though, he was the number 1 rookie running back on the week. He had the most carries, most yards, touchdowns, everything, which is very weird to hear. I did not know that was going to be the case in week 1, but that was the case.
Out of Rutgers, baby. Best running back out of Rutgers since the great Ray Rice. Shout out.
The great Ray Rice. Man, he was a stud to draft, that's for sure. You put him in an elevator, start him up. Let's go on. Not a lot of great matchups this week. I really didn't like a lot of the matchups. I think some of these games aren't very good. But we're gonna talk about Miami versus Baltimore because Miami dominated the Patriots, and it's weird talking about 2 weeks in a row because Miami's just never a squad you talk about. But hey,
No,
they're looking good. Mike Daniels, woo boy, I like him.
dude, how is he? Dude, you gotta like him. He looks like he's like our age. He's from Yale. He's calling up them plays.
I
Dude,
wonder
he's
if
fun to
he's like a
watch.
little autistic too. He seems a little autistic at times, but or
He
on the
seems very. I
spectrum
think he might be smoking some blunts every day.
for sure, dude. All right, good call on the Waddle though last week. Now again, do you start Waddle again?
Oh, you ride Waddle. The dude's a stud. The dude's just a flat out stud. When the ball's in his hands, he's like, what? He's got jukes for days. Dude, Mike McDaniel really utilizes the talent. You could see, like, even Tyreek, both the receivers were great. I think that you can start both receivers every week this year.
So cool. That's awesome. I love it because like I liked Waddle, and I didn't want to see. I didn't like that Tyreek Hill was coming in because I was like, damn, Waddle's the guy, man. He can do it himself. But awesome to see. I love it. Let's keep it going. Tua maybe. He had some good throws out there. He had a couple bad ones too, but he's able to get it to his boys. And I mean, Tyreek, I don't think he scored a touchdown last week, but if he did, that would have been huge for his fantasy numbers. Massive.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Chase Edmonds. I actually wanted to draft him during the draft, but it just didn't work out the way it needed to work out for me. How do you feel about him? I mean, he's obviously the starter.
Is he? He's obviously the starter, but I don't think they ran the ball too much. Like, I'm looking at his carries here.
They didn't.
You know what? He had 12 carries for 25 yards. That might just be that New England's defense is shiesty, but that's a little concerning. He was involved in the passing game. He had 4 catches for 40 yards, but it's just a little concerning. Edmonds got 12 carries for 25 yards, and Mostert got 5 for 16. So I guess the running backs, they really struggled running the ball. I don't know. It depends on who you have, but like, would you start Chase Edmonds over Rashad Penny? Like, I don't know. I think I might lean Penny.
I wouldn't start Chase Edmonds yet, but I'd be happy that he got the majority of the carries, though. Like, he's the guy. That's what you want, though, right? Like, he's not going to win every matchup every week, but at least you know that you got a guy who's going to go out there and actually get the majority of the carries and actually get some catches. So I like him, but not this week.
Yeah, I think you stash him and wait and see, baby.
Yeah. And then let's talk about those wide receivers over there at the Ravens, man. If you drafted Rashad Bateman, you got lucky with that touchdown, but everything else looks terrible.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be weird with the Ravens receivers like it always is. It's always weird with the Ravens receivers. I do think Bateman's the guy to start. It's kind of fluky. I think that guy Duvernay, I think he got 2 touchdowns. So if something happens again this week, then it might not be a fluke. We shall see. But I think that if you're in a league where you got to start 3 receivers, I think you're starting Bateman for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I get it. I don't think you should start Bateman. I think you should start looking for other guys now. Start looking at that waiver wire, start picking people up. I don't think Bateman's your answer. I never thought he was. He's trash.
Whoa,
but
he ain't a believer.
I am not a believer in Bateman. That's it. He's not good. But J.K. Dobbins is back this week. I think if you got him, go ahead and start him, man. This is going to be a running offense. Get him going.
Smoke him if you got him, baby.
That's right, baby. I love it. I think he's a stud. I've always liked him. I'm glad he's back. Let's see what he can do, boys. Let's see him out there. Let's get it going. All right, then. Let's move on to Arizona versus Las Vegas Raiders. I honestly didn't know there really just wasn't like a lot of games I really liked. I like the Monday night games, but I thought I'd throw this one in here. Arizona versus Las Vegas because they got some hit or miss going on here. I think everyone's got players on their squads and they weren't too happy with anyone but Devontae Adams, which we all know, stud. Could have been stud of the week. The dog. Let's go. Do you start Hollywood Brown? You were big on him last week, Mike, but what the
He's my stud of the week, baby. Stud of the week. Stud of the week didn't hit last week, and you know what? The Arizona's fucking bad. We'll also discuss this later, but Arizona's secondary is weak. I think they're going to be an open door for fantasy points for wide receivers this year. Arizona looks bad.
They looked really bad. I honestly was so happy because I don't like Arizona to see them just go out,
points. They're 5.5-point dogs this week against the Raiders,
which is wild to me. Actually, if you're a betting man, I take that bet.
I like the
take
points.
that bet.
I like the points.
I like the points. Take
Yeah,
the points. Because, like, there's nothing that the Raiders have showed anyone that they could win multiple, like, have good seasons back to back. Where is that coming from? I don't understand. So I definitely start Hollywood Brown this week. I think he'll do just fine out there. I don't think there'll be any worry.
You're taking the points, man.
Take the points. Take the points, you bet, man. Take them points for sure. I think this is my lock of the week.
Whoa.
I think they'll come back. I think Murray will play better. So I'd say start Hollywood Brown, go for it. What about Jacobs? I mean, you're not a big fan of him, but I think he's a stud. I liked him at Alabama. I think he could have done some things. He still had like 1,000 yards last year or close to it. So I'm just saying, do you start him this week or do you not? Let's go, Mike. What you got?
No, I don't like Josh Jacobs. I did like him out of Alabama. I just don't trust the Raiders. I just really don't. And I think that this game against Arizona, I think there's going to be a lot of points. I just don't trust it. No, I'm not starting Josh Jacobs.
Don't start him. If you got him, I know you might have drafted him a little high, but if you got other guys out there, go put him in your lineup. Don't put Jacobs in until you can actually fully trust him. All right, let's go to the touchdown machine, Connor. Why is that guy always getting touchdowns? It annoys the shit out of me because I don't think he's good. I hate his guts. I'm not all about him in fantasy football. I think he's a cool guy. I think he's done a lot throughout his career, and nothing against him personally, but I still think he's a great player. But he gets touchdowns, and that frustrates me.
I think Connor's a good football player. He's definitely good around the goal line. I think it's definitely like a mix of that and Cliff Kingsbury that is running all the time inside the 5. But yeah, Connor scored 18 touchdowns last year.
I know.
And like, even though he probably won't match that, like it's hard to match something like that. Like, dude, if he scores 10 to 12, which I think it's totally likely, like, dude, that's a top 10 running back right there.
Well, he's on pace for 17. So, you know what I mean? Like, he gets a touchdown again, saves whoever started him. And that's how they were saved last year. They definitely ran that wave with the Connor touchdowns for sure. I mean, I still say don't start him, but I'm wrong. I'm wrong about this all the time. So maybe go against what I say.
You're not starting Connor. You're not starting James
Conner. I don't like him. I don't like him.
Dude, I think like Connor scoring more points than Josh Jacobs for sure. Yeah. You don't like James Conner. That's sick. He's a Connor hater. Boy, survives cancer. That's sick. Okay.
He can survive cancer all day. He ain't surviving my fantasy lineup. That's what it is for sure. He's not.
You hate James Conner.
I will say don't start him every week because I don't think he's good. But he scores touchdowns. So go against what I say for sure. All right. Any other wide receivers you want to talk about for Arizona or for Las Vegas? Any other special guys out there? I mean, Waller.
No. Devontae runs the show, dude. I think I read Carr threw the ball 35 times last week, and half of them were Devontae. He got 17 targets. It's Devontae's world we're all living in Vegas, baby.
I'm so happy. If you drafted Devontae, good for you, man. Smart pick.
Can you guess which player in our league owns James Conner? On brand, baby.
Oh, no. Scott does for sure. He drafted him last year.
Yeah.
Scott, if you don't know,
young money,
Scott,
baby.
Dude, young money, dude. White Devil. He doesn't draft running backs that start. He only drafts handcuffs all day. And James Conner, because James Conner got him 18 touchdowns last year, he doesn't care because he shouldn't have started him up. And that's what he's gonna ride with. He's gonna ride with those touchdowns. And you know what? My fantasy team didn't score 1 touchdown, and I have Aaron Rodgers. He didn't score 1. So, what do I know? I need James Conner. All right, let's move on. Oh, let's talk about them G-Man, boy. Carolina versus the G-Man.
Dude,
dirty win.
Gotta be the dirty win. The Dable era is off to a beautiful start. We got new swag going. I feel it. We got an easy schedule coming up. The Giants are a sneaky bet to make the playoffs. You heard it here first in week 2. I think the Giants are going to make the playoffs this year, maybe.
Well, my friends, My friends, Larry Hoover has been drinking a lot today. I
No,
can't
no,
believe
no.
he just said that.
No. The Bears off to a good start. We got Saquon. Easy schedule ahead. Easy schedule ahead. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll talk about that and at the end of the season when you're wrong. And but they could start off, good 3-0 maybe. I think Carolina sucks. So
We're
go beat
favored.
them. You know what I mean? But let's talk about this. We know Saquon's stud right now. So if
Dog.
Saquon can just do what he does, then you're going to win that game, right? But who else do you start outside of Saquon right now? Those wide receivers, I was big on Tony. I thought Tony was going to be my sleeper. And then he just fucking played like 7 snaps.
7 snap Tony, baby.
What
Calling
the
out
fuck?
reporters on Instagram today and shit. It's sick.
Dude, I don't understand though. Why such little stuff?
Young
Why?
Joker.
Young Joker. Dude, he is hilarious. He's a dog. Do you start any other wide receivers?
Dude,
Sterling Shepard.
Similar to the Raiders. It's Devontae's world there. It's Saquon's world up in New York right now, baby. And the only Giants player you start all season, I think, is going to be Saquon. No one else is startable. You're not starting Tony. He only played 7 snaps. You're not starting Kenny Galladay. He's a fucking bust. You're not starting Shepard. You just can't trust him enough yet. Their tight end is fucking rookie from San Diego State you've never heard of named Daniel Bellinger. You ain't starting Daniel Bellinger. You ain't starting Daniel Jones. Saquon's world.
Dirty. Yeah. What about Tony? Probably gonna drop him. Yeah.
I'll pick him up. You never know. They did run a sick play to him. They did run a sick play to him last week where it's like he's a high school quarterback. He had to do deep, and he almost threw a TD last week on one of his 7 snaps. Dude's got moves too.
It was weird. I just didn't understand. Didn't understand the whole aspect of it. All right. Carolina wide receivers. Robbie Anderson killed it, man. He had a great game. What's up with that? Like, do you want more Robbie Anderson? Do you think Robbie Anderson can be a thing? People are picking him up. Dude. People are picking him up. What do you think?
I think he's a good he's any week you could have him for a what the heck flex kind of thing because any given week he could hit like a 60-yard bomb from Baker when they're losing like 35-10 in garbage time because the Panthers fucking suck and Matt Rule's about to get fired. But other than that, you can start DJ Moore and McCaffrey, but I don't trust Robbie Anderson enough to start him now.
I don't think so, but he's a good pickup. So go pick him up if you haven't picked him up yet. I mean, DJ Moore didn't have a lot of points last week, so I don't know what's going to happen there. He only had 6 targets. Hoping for more out of him. So hopefully Baker doesn't do what Baker does best, and that's ruin wide receivers' careers. So, that's a big worry. That's a big worry with him. All right. We just know it's McCaffrey who didn't kill it like I was hoping he would. He did not kill it. I was bummed about that. And they lost to the backup. Like, what a bunch of losers. All right, we're gonna move on. G-Men, they're gonna get that W, I think. Let's go, boys. Seahawks versus 49ers. And obviously we're Seahawks and G-Men fans over here. So we're gonna talk about them every week. Don't give a fuck what you think. It's our podcast. Do you start any of these 49ers wide receivers? I mean, Debo did not have a great game. But do you start Ayuk? What are you thinking over there, Mike?
I'm thinking Debo might be the new starting running back for the 49ers. Eli Mitchell went down, and it just makes sense. You just put him back in the running back. Dude, their coach Shanahan said he's gonna ride the hot hand at running back. Just put fucking Debo back there every snap. And that boy's down to play running back because he has all these contract incentives now. He gets paid more.
It's not a lot of money though. It's not enough to make it seem like it's a big incentive. I think it's only like $2-3 million more.
Only? That's a few chains, baby.
A few bags, baby, a few Jordans. I love Debo. Play Debo. I hate the handcuff thing going on there. All the guys who are holding on to Jeff Wilson or whatever. I don't think it's going to work out for them. I really don't. I think Debo is going to be the running back. I think it's going to be not who you think is going to play. I think it's going to be Debo. So, and Ayuk, I don't know. I don't think you start him. I just don't see anything out of Trey Lance. But it was like a monsoon. It was a crazy rain game. So maybe something happens this week with Ayuk. I mean, you're going up against. I know the Seahawks pretty well. You're going up against rookie corners, so let's see what they do if they take advantage of this.
They look pretty good.
Obviously,
The Seahawks corners look pretty good against Russ Wilson.
it was a weird game plan though by the Broncos. They went like tight end, bootleg, play action, tight end, tight end, tight end, tight end.
64-yard field goal. Yeah.
64-yard field goal. So stupid.
Shit was retarded.
It had the leg. It just was really fucking far.
No, that was a retarded play call. And then the next day, the coach goes, "Oh yeah, we should have went for it." It's like, dude, that's your job.
Yeah, the really poor clock management. I've watched that drive a bunch of times now because I've rewatched the game at least 3 times.
Oh wow.
I love it. I love rewatching all the time. Yeah. So, do you start Trey Lance? Trey Lance was drafted so high, but he didn't do shit last week. He looked terrible. I mean, do you go out there and go get somebody off the bench? Do you go find Geno Smith and pick him up because Geno Smith is a dog? Or do you continue to ride the Trey Lance train, dog?
I'm keeping aboard the Trey Lance train. I'm going to say that last week was an outlier. It was a rainy game. It was like they were playing in a huge puddle. But I think that it's like it's something to be worried about. If Trey Lance struggles this week, I don't think you can start him week 3.
I don't think so. I don't think you could start in week 3 if he struggles again. And this is not a stud defense by the Seahawks. Like, it's not going to be there's no Bobby Wagner. There's no Legion of Boom. There's no stud D lineman out there. If they struggle again, maybe the defense is better than what we thought. But if you just struggle and they're not that good, then you suck. And
what's your prediction for the game?
100-0 Seahawks, baby. We go kill them. We're gonna murder them and shit. It's over already. It's over already. I love the Seahawks. They go win. We're gonna start the season going 4-0. Be real nice. I mean, it's gonna be a tough game. We're 10-point underdogs. 10 points.
That's a lot of
underdog.
points.
It's a lot of points, dude. That means they think the Seahawks suck. And I mean, Geno, it's up to Geno, right? It's up to Geno to play really well to win these games. I don't know. We'll see. Any Seahawks wide receivers? I mean, DK did not put up a lot of points. Tyler Lockett didn't put up a lot of points. Even Tyler Lockett even got dropped in our league. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Wow.
Tyler Lockett got dropped, boy. He got dropped.
Ooh.
So I like Seahawks wide receivers. I think you should pick up Tyler Lockett if he's out there. Go pick him up.
Bob Lock and drop it, baby.
But it's really up to Geno and how he's gonna play. They hit the tight ends really well during the first game. Colby Parkinson and Will Disley.
Big Montana, baby. Will Disley. Who this? New phone. Who this? You see, he caught a touchdown and he went. New phone. Who this? He did.
I've always been a big fan of Will Disley. I like him a lot. He actually snapped and snap count Noah Fant. So he is the starter, not Noah Fant, which is a big deal. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to the running back, Rashad Penny. I'm gonna go. Yeah, you start him up, boy. He's a stud.
Really?
I like him. I like him a lot. Watch out now. He's gonna figure it out.
The Rook is making his debut, baby. Kenny Walker. You think they sprinkle him in a little bit?
Dude, that's a trip because it'd be nice to have Kenny Walker as our third down back, right?
Kenny Walker's good. In college is good.
Really good. Really, really good. So we'll see. Penny had 70% of the snaps last week, and Travis Homer had 35. And I'd like to get those numbers down for Travis Homer because he's not good. So I'd like to get Kenneth Walker the third's numbers up.
Did you see the block? Did you see the block that Homer made on the touchdown throw where he just gets lit up? Like, I think he throws up the play where they threw it up to the tight end. Go back and watch.
A million times.
Dude, Homer gets lit
blown up. But I mean, he still put his body out there, still did his job. It's just he's not good enough to be out there to make those types of blocks. He did his job though, and it let Geno squeak by and lay that dump. Yeah, I love it. That was Will Disley's touchdown. That was the call. New phone, who this? And then boom. So yeah, I say start Penny because I'm big on the Penny train, dude. I'm big on the Penny train. I save my pennies, dog. I save my pennies. Gino, do you pick him up? You picking him up?
Fuck no. It's Geno Smith. Everyone's overreacting. Dude, does anyone realize the Seahawks didn't score a point in the second half of that game against Denver? Not 1 point. They got shut down in the second half, and they still won. Hell no, I ain't starting Geno Smith. If you start Geno Smith, you wearing a dress.
Damn. Well, maybe not start him, but maybe pick him up because that boy, he does not do turnovers. He doesn't do any turnovers. He's not going to throw any interceptions. I don't know. I like him. I like that guy. I'm all about it. Pick him up if you need him. Obviously, you got Trey Lance. You should probably pick him up because Trey Lance is really bad. All right, let's move on to the Monday night game, Minnesota versus Philly. Wow, we're going to talk about Philly again, but they just got studs over there, dude. They got studs, and Brown,
Wow.
AJ Brown showed up. What a dog! Like, way to come out and just kill it, dog. So, what do you think? Any other Philadelphia players you want to start?
I don't think you can start Devontae Smith after not getting any catches last week. I think you definitely start Miles Sanders. He's very dude. Philly's O line is good, and you got to start the best running back on a team with a good O line. It's also going to be favored in a lot of games. I'm a big fan of starting running backs on favored teams. Just because game script usually, leans towards those running backs when they're milking the clock. You definitely start Miles Sanders, I think.
I didn't start him last week. He's on my squad. I didn't start him. Bummed out. He's the only guy who scored a touchdown on my whole squad. So I should have started him. I'm going to start him this week. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to ride that train. He showed out. He showed what he looked like. Though we all thought he could do, he did it. So I was all about it. Love it. Everyone else kind of sucks other than that. I wouldn't start Smith at all. And I wouldn't look at any other players. And Goddard, Goddard didn't show anything special at all out there. So I just don't know. I was big on Goddard. I thought, Homie was going to throw a lot to his tight end because he needs help. Sometimes getting those checkdowns, getting that confidence in this game. But, he didn't do that. So I don't know what to do with Goddard right now. But so I would say don't start Goddard. Don't do it. And I'm not big on starting a lot of, tight ends and wide receivers on Monday night. I'm big on starting running backs and kickers. Love me some running backs and kickers and defense on Monday night. So that's why I'm going to start Miles Sanders because I got him. It's Monday night. Well, we got back-to-back. We got 2 Monday night games, but we're only going to talk about this one just because these is where some studs are at. Minnesota. Justin Jefferson killed it. But who else is going to kill it for them? That's it.
I think you can start Cousins. I think Cousins is a decent option at QB. They throw the ball a lot, and it's a good offensive coach. Cousins kind of reminds me of like Stafford last year. Even O'Connell comes from the Rams system too. I think Cousins could be a sneaky guy this year. Consistent.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. I mean, he dresses like he's at Colts. And that doesn't with a quarterback with no swag. No, I'm not down for it.
I saw a tweet. This will lead us into the Twitter news here. I saw a tweet that Kirk Cousins looks like he's called the cops on his friends for using drugs.
Dude, he does not look like a cool guy at all. Not all about it. But he is a good pickup. If you don't got him, pick him up. He killed it last week. He looked really good, and it could be the style of offense that helps him out a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. All right, Twitter news. What you got, Mike? You got any more Twitter news?
Kirk Cousins smokes. Kirk Cousins does not smoke. Excuse me. Kirk Cousins calls the cops on his friends for using drugs. That's number one. Number 2, Twitter news today. Kadarius Toney calling out Giants beat reporter in his Instagram story, calling him a sorry ass Negro.
Damn, homie.
Kadarius Toney comes out. You do not talk bad about Kadarius Toney on Twitter. He eats you.
Dude, killing it. I love Toney. I shouldn't cut him. I should keep him on my squad. All right, fun fact I found on Twitter. This will be the first Steelers-Patriots game without either Big Ben or Tom Brady playing since December 6th of 1998.
Damn.
1998, boy. 1998. That's to be the first game without either Tom Brady or Big Ben playing on the Steelers or Patriots. And the quarterbacks who did play that game were
Let me go.
Go. Yeah, my bad.
Is it Cordell Stewart and Drew Bledsoe?
Dude, dirty.
Okay.
Who
I
were
heard
the
the
coaches?
Pete Carroll and Bill Cowher.
Yeah, stud. You're a savant over here, motherfucker. Dirty. Yeah, Bill Cowher and Pete Carroll were the head coaches. Wild. Now it's Mike Tomlin and obviously the great Bill Belichick. So that's what I thought was super fun. All right, let's move on. Who you not sleeping on, Mike? Who you not sleeping on? Give me two players. Who you not sleeping on today?
Dude, start it up. Rum, rum, rum. Derek Carr, baby. Start up the car this week. Like I said, Arizona secondary sucks. Derek Carr, they need to win. They're 5.5-point favorites. They're going to be throwing. Start him up this week. I think he throws for three TDs at least. Another guy, my sleeper. The game's about to kick off here. With Keenan Allen out this week, they're going to be looking in the slot, and they got a big boy from the Rams and also former Seahawk named Gerald Everett. Look out. I think Gerald Everett scores a tutty tonight.
He is actually very, very skilled. Like, he's physically talented, super good. He had some good moments on the Seahawks. I really liked him. He had a game, though, where he had 2 fumbles, and that was it. We weren't ever going to have him play again for us. He basically lost us a game, and that really killed us, and I was really pissed about that. My 2 guys who I'm not sleeping on is Joe Mixon. Let's go, boy. He's going to kill it this week. Ain't nothing going to stop Joe Mixon from getting in that end zone. It is his time to shine over there. I am all about the Bengals offense, and I think they're going to have a redemption. They're going to go back to running that football now. Joe Mixon's going to come out here and get 150 yards. And then Cortland Sutton. I think Jerry Jeudy had a great game. Don't get me wrong. But Cortland Sutton was the guy who could get open when the plays broke down for Russ. And that's big. Those are big plays that Russ loves. Russ isn't going to hit the guy every time like he did on Jerry Jeudy, where it's like crossing routes or time patterns or anything like that. He is going to hit the guy who can scramble to get open. That's Cortland Sutton. He did it great in week 1. I think he's going to continue to do it for the rest of the season. Let's go, Sutton. Get your points again. Don't like the Broncos. Go Hawks. Go G-Men. This is the HMD podcast over here. Big Mike, kick it off.
Week 2, let's go, baby.
Hold my dick. Peace.